Hello everyone. So you're watching The Noisy Pagan Crow and I'm Rebecca. It's lovely to see you all again. I thought I'd do a video on my rune sets today. Now I make my own runes. I don't actually have a set that I've bought. I make mine out of clay, so I thought I'd show you my first kind of 2 attempts first, because I can. So it's these purple ones, and I just carved the symbols, the runes, into the clay, making sure that I'd left my fingerprints and things on them, so that they were relevant to me. So that's the purple set, and then similarly is a green set. They're not very good. I did make these a couple of years ago when I was just starting out using clay, so not as you can see, not as good at making them back then, but I just thought I'd show you kind of where I started and how I started making them. You can also make runes out of things like beans or stones and just drawing on the runes. That's a good cheap way of making them. Or pebbles, or anything like that, or you can buy your own set. I am planning on making some runes to sell, so in the future you could buy them from me if you'd like. So this is my main rune set. It's in a bag that's pretty battered because I use it a lot. This was something that I inherited when my great nan died, but it's just a drawstring bag, and in it is my runes. I thought I'd show you them before I showed you how to use them. So we've got these, which are much better quality. I did get better at making them. So these ones I've actually made the runes out of clay as well. So it's a gold set with a kind of black gunmetal grey kind of metallic clay. And so as you can see, it's raised, and they're much more much better quality, and I love these are my main casting set, unless I'm traveling, in which case I'll use the tiny set that I also made out of the same colour clay, which I will link in the description, as I did a video on my travel altar, so you can kind of see. Just so you know, we're burning a crackling candle and a cone incense that is dragon blood scented, and a little candle over here too. So I thought I've shown you them now. These ones just live in this organza bag, but I thought I'd give you a kind of little bit of a tutorial on how to use them. I actually started runes before I did tarot, just because I was really into kind of Celtic kind of tradition and Vikings and all that kind of stuff, and so the runes intrigued me, and kind of Norse mythology, and so I kind of gravitated towards the runes first, but I use them in conjunction with my tarot cards now. So I picked up this book. It's the Book of Runes, commentary by Ralph Bloom, and I bought this book at a kind of second-hand, really old bookstore in my local town. It's no longer there now, which is kind of sad, but it kind of gives you, right at the front, it kind of gives you a really basic overview. So if you're just starting out, you can just have this page open, and it will tell you a little bit about the rune, and then you can go to the corresponding pages if you so wish to do so, to get a better kind of understanding of that rune. So then you get a kind of double page spread, and if you wish to do, there is a reversed, but I don't read them reversed. So there's that. That's pretty cool, I thought, and it wasn't very expensive, and that's kind of where I've learned most of my kind of rune knowledge from, as well as YouTube videos. I'll link a couple of YouTube videos as to people that I've watched, because I think it's good to kind of support other channels too. That's my dog hairs all over it. So the ways you can use the runes, I mostly these days, unless I'm kind of using something that's unless I'm asking something that's really important and I need a more detailed answer, I will just go into the rune bag, kind of mess them all about. Let me just pull back a little bit if I can. Kind of really get my energy in the bag by kind of swirling them all around, and then I will pull one. So we've got the blank rune, and so that's one way you can kind of pull them. You could pull them like you would tarot cards, so you could do a kind of past, present, future, and do it like that, like you do your tarot. You could also do tarot like spreads, rune spreads that are tarot, so like the Celtic cross and things like that. You could do that with the runes too, but I don't think that was how they would originally have been used. Or if you, as I say, you want to do a full kind of spread, what you could do is grab a handful and cast them, and then so we've got quite a few that are turned upside down. I don't read these. Some people do. I don't. So I'm just going to move them out of the way for now, and that's the blank rune. So we'll leave that there. So yeah, they were kind of, I mean, I've moved them about now. You should leave them where they are. But yeah, so these runes I kind of move out of the way. If it's, say you cast a set like that, and some of them are kind of over each other, over the ones that are upside down, you can get things like, you can get your pendulum. 1 second, I'll grab one of mine and show you what I mean. You could grab a pendulum and kind of let it swing over the rune and see whether there's a hidden message for that particular rune, and then you would turn that upright and have a look. So this is one of my little travel pendulums. I really like them. This is lapis lazuli, and a bit of quartz on the end, and so you could just kind of hold it over the rune. If the pendulum thinks there's a hidden message, it will swing, and I'd say that was a pretty good indication that rune was to be read, and so I'd turn it over. So you could do it that way. So there's that, but I don't tend to do this very often. So and then you'd read the runes. So I do it from closest to me to furthest away. This you could kind of read as I would turn it around so it's facing, because I don't do reversals. If it was to the side, then maybe it's something that's not quite happening yet, or something similar. So yeah, if you weren't sure about some of the runes, then you could ask your pendulum if it's something that you should be reading. But I do tend to just move these ones out of the way, unless they're in a little cluster like this, in which case I will probably turn that one over. And then yeah, as I say, I'd read from bottom to top. So sort of like seeing where things lead. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the main things that I kind of use the runes for. As I say, most of the time I will pull a tarot card. This is my Wildwood tarot. So I will pull a tarot card, and then I will also pull a rune for the day. And then, so say I was to have pulled the 10 of Vessels or the 10 of Cups, that would go on my little stand for the day. And then I'll pull a rune. Okay, and that would go just in front like that. So we've got happiness and fertility. I don't think that's going to, unless it's fertility of my garden, which would be lovely. So that's kind of how I use my rune sets. Now what I am going to do in future videos is I am going to go into further depth with the runes and kind of read you the description of the rune in the book, but then also how I'd use the rune and how I'd interpret that, and how I'd interpret it with when pulled with different runes and things like that. So that's kind of going to be something that you can expect from me in the future. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. I hope it was kind of a bit informational and you learned something. And as always, blessed be. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.